Sit. Good. All right, well, here we are back again today at Animal Training and Development Center. And today I have with me Sugar. And Sugar is kind of new here at the training center. We're working on a service dog project with her and her owner. And they are going to be a team working here and around our area and other places, I guess, if they want to travel. So she's going to be prepared with all the things it takes to be a good service dog. And the first, of course, is a good foundation of obedience. And so basically what we've been working on so far is just this concept that a dog should never get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason. So as I just go ahead and let go of some leash and walk away here, what we're looking for is a dog to kind of stay at least close enough to us to where the leash doesn't get tight. And so it's kind of their job to do that. If I begin to gradually just meander around the room here, she can be on my right side as she is now. She can veer over to my left side or just stay on that side if she wants to. She can lag behind a little bit, but not so far as to get to the end of the leash behind me. Oh, good, she caught it. I thought she was just about to do it. If she stayed lagging, my job is to make sure she does her job, and all I'm doing to help her do her job is to proactively tug in the opposite direction she may be going at any time as she gets near the end. So as I go this direction, if she were to lag behind, I would tug forward toward me. In this sense, I might tug in that direction if she were out of position. But as you can see, she's doing a really good job, even though now I've taken up a little bit of slack out of the leash. So let's take even more slack out of the leash and see how she does. So now she only has about a 2-foot length of line that she can work with and do whatever she wants to do while she's on it, but she should stay within that length of line. And this is a type of training that we spend a lot of time doing with the dog in the early phases of their training because it's so vital to a good project in the big picture, and especially when you're thinking about a dog like a service dog. So, with a service dog, I may be out in public, and I may even have my back turned to my dog and paying at a register, for example, and maybe something catches my dog's eye from behind me, and I would hate for my dog to try to race after it and pull me and that sort of thing. So we spend a lot of time at this stage in a dog's development teaching it that never get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason, even if they're not in a command mode. And that's why we call it the unspoken command. There shouldn't have to be a word to it because it's a given. If the dog's on a leash, they should never get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason. And that's the general rule. Now, with all rules, there's exceptions to those. And if we had, for example, a person that needed a dog for balance assist, and we were looking for that dog to be trained to pull them up out of a chair, for example, then of course we would have a command to that, and the dog would then be given permission to pull and get that person situated. But in general speaking, and in this case we're not doing balance assist, we're just not looking for this dog to get to the leash and at any time. So dropping the whole thing here, just one more example, even from the down position, you can see she could be even asleep, and she should be aware enough of me that they don't get to the end of the leash at any time for any reason when they're on leash, okay? So, obviously the leash comes off, and she doesn't have to have that kind of focus, but for the time that we are training a dog and the leash is on, we're looking for that. Next thing is just a simple sit command. Sugar, sit. Good. Sit means sit and keep sitting till I tell you to stop sitting, no matter what happens while you're sitting. Now, you can say stay here if you like. I have no problem with that if you're comfortable saying it. But what I don't want to see is people that say stay, 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 stay. You know why? It sounds like blah, blah, blah. There's no meaning to it. No. And you can see she was like, what was that all about? Sit. When I teach sit, it means sit and keep sitting till I tell you stop sitting, no matter what's happening while you're sitting. But the way I tell her she can stop sitting, I give the release word, okay, Okay means you can stop sitting, do whatever you like. I like to see them come to me, get a little reward, just physically, emotionally, verbally sometimes, and once in a while maybe even a treat. But we don't use a lot of treats at this stage in the training because I want to keep it about connection. Something that you have with you everywhere you go as a service dog team is your voice and your hands for praising. And if you're using a lot of treats, there's a lot of reasons, to get away from that. Mainly that, if you're running low, I guess you're running low on obedience too. This is more about relationship, and you can see she's doing a great job with it. Okay, good girl. Back to the command sit. Sit. If you don't say stay over and over again, she should still sit. Good. Good girl. Very nice. Even if I walk the other direction, good. Good. And even as we build through other levels of distraction, stay tuned. Okay. Good girl. Now, we're going to see sit. Can she hold a sit even as I bounce a ball in front of her? No, sit. Better angle. Sit. No, sit. No, sit. Good. No, sit. No, sit. No, sit. No, sit. Good. Good girl. No, sit. No, sit. Okay, good dog. Until I give the release word. It's the first time we tried the bouncing ball. And so she actually did a pretty good job with that. You got to have decent timing to practice this at home. It took me a while really to be able to bounce a ball, make good correction on a leash at the same time. So be patient with yourself as you're learning, or better yet, if you have two people, one can hold the leash, make sure the dog holds the sit, another could bounce the ball, and then you could time it. You could say, all right, now maybe give a little nod, and as you bounce the ball, then the person can say okay at that same moment, thus giving the dog, permission to have the ball. And what I love about that style of training is it's on one hand a very high level distraction that the dog has to work through and not react to, and then at the same time it's a high level reward because after they're done they get the ball. So I hope you enjoy that portion of the training. There you go. All right, well, the next thing we work on is the heel command, and this is the command that I think is the most important of all commands that we train a dog to do, no matter what their later life job is going to be. So when we teach the command heel, it's a very precise position in relationship to our body. In this case, we're training her to be on our right side, and in the correct position, her left paw should fall in line with my right foot, almost step for step. She shouldn't be too close to me or too far away. She shouldn't be too far behind or too far ahead. She'd be focused on me every step of the way. Heel. And so let's see if we can show you. Good. If you ever feel like you can't go the direction that you're trying to go, in other words, if she's crowding you to the right as you're turning right, all you're doing is saying the word N-O, and as you do, no, heel. You're just pulling her just slightly off of you. There we go. Stopping. We should get a nice automatic sit. Really important that we teach that automatic sit because let's say you're coming to a cash register at a store or somebody on the street, getting your dog in that sit position focused on you allows for you to converse and do what you've got to do without her trying to be right up in everybody's way. And so we teach that nice automatic sit. We're trying to get a little fancy with her if we can, in the sense that I don't want a dog just listening for my commands, but sometimes I'm talking to somebody, and at the same time I'm talking to him, I need my dog to fall into the heel position as we maybe go through a store together. Just by leading with my right foot, we're training her to get up into that heel position at that same moment. And then what I'm doing, no, sit, is I'm training her that when I lead with my outside foot, my left foot in this case, that she should maintain her position in the sit or whatever position she's in at that time, in this case, the sit. So again, outside foot, there we go. Good job. That's right. good. And then inside foot. There we go. Nice. Good. Now she's in that really nice heel position. And when she gets really good at this, she's going to be great for, navigating through tight spaces in the store together. There are times where maybe it gets so narrow that, like at Menards, they have that little spiral walk-in thing. In that case, what I would do is I'd have her sit and then lead with my outside foot, go through there, and then we would just tell her okay, and then she can come through. And so these are kinds of things that we think ahead of in terms of public access training. So we want to make sure that we're getting ahead of that already in our foundation, building some of these basic concepts. So the next one, of course, is to come when called. Come. We want a dog to learn to come and sit right in front of us like so. Good. You could teach them to come and stand. We're working on stand. Good. Stand is a great command, especially once we start working with putting the vest on and off, which we don't do until we get into the next phase of her training. We'll start to introduce her what we call training service dog vest, which says service dog in training. And at that point, we're going to start to put together this foundation that we're laying now with real practical public access training that's going to allow for us to really get to the next level. But for now, we're just working on that stand position, sit position. Of course, we're working on her down position as well. So from this position here, we're just teaching her down. And if not, no, down. There you go. No, down. No, down. No, down, no. Good. Heel. It's a good segment to talk about a dominant dog teaching the down command. Sit. When you have a dominant dog and you're teaching the down command, you've got to be prepared to be challenged. And so there are different levels of being challenged. A dominant dog might growl. They may, bite. Worst case scenario, they may posture. They may just simply resist. And so what we have here is dog named Sugar. We're just starting this down with. And so I'm going to show you how she may resist and what we do about it. So from here, I'm just going to give that command down. Good dog. And that's how we deal with resistance in the down command. Good girl. Heel. I can't fight that. Never mind. I'll take it every day of the week. You guys saw what happened right before that, right? I thought she'd try me again. No, sit. Good. What she was doing is she was literally putting my hand in her mouth, but I could tell by the way her expression was that she wasn't going to hurt it, heel. Now, the worst thing you can do in a scenario like that is freak out and try to pull away or, otherwise flinch. Good. Just stay nice and calm. Down. No. Down. See, she tries it again. Down. Good. So there was some resistance that time. Oops, nope. You're just stepping on a leash and then you're pushing toward the side. Right to the side, not straight down. Down. Good. No, down. There. Good. Heel. And remember, down is a symbolic posture. I swear I turned that off. I swear I did. And then the train. What the heck? All right, sit. Good girl. Break up that routine frequently. Don't heel sit down too many times in a row. Heel. That time we didn't do the down. Just heeled right back out of that. That way we're not putting ourselves, into that posture over and over again, starting to make the dog feel picked on. Don't sit. At Animal Training and Development, we promise your dog will train through trains. Good girl. Good job, Sugar. Okay, good girl. Good. Down. Down. Just pushing gently toward the side, not straight down, kind of right toward the camera. Letting her just slide into that position. Down. Good. There, she even licked my hand, so she's not looking to be aggressive over it. No. Down. But she is protesting. There's no doubt that's a little resistance to the whole idea. There you go. Heel. Well, you know, you could protest paying your taxes if you want, I guess. I'm not going to. I'm just going to pay them because, you know, the penalty's there if you don't. And it's kind of like sometimes with this down command, it's not like she doesn't understand. No, sit. Down. It's a choice she's making. She even half did the down right there, then thought second about it. No, down. So here again, I'm just pushing toward the side. Good. Good girl. Heel. And we'll just keep going through that. A dominant dog is going to challenge you. They always do. It's just what level of challenge are they, you know, going to take it, and what do you do about it? Here, you know, I call this kind of the grind. No, sit. You just have to go through the motions. Nope, sit. And keep working at it until they give up on resistance. And this is kind of passive resistance, but still resistance nonetheless. This is what we call avoidance behavior. Down. Here I'm just making the command. Now, no. And again, just toward the side, down. Good. Good girl. Good. Heel. And we just heel out of that. This time I'm going to break my routine by not doing the down. I want to keep her guessing and no, sit. We are going to ask for that automatic sit. Heel, and then just go into another heel. In fact, I might even just do a little figure 8 pattern here. No, heel, come on. Good. Good. Atta girl. Down. No. Down. There we go. Down. No, down. There again, she kind of moved her head and mouth like she was going to. And she could have if she wanted to bite me, no doubt. I trust that she's not going to. And I just chose to leave my hand there. Heel. One thing's for sure, if you pull away real quick, and you're going to make it a game, and your dog will probably, you know, try to get you more the next time. And if, you know, they really do want to bite you, you're not going to get out of the way anyways, guys. You're just not. Won't sit. So I'd choose to leave it there calmly. You know, we didn't start with a down command. You don't start with a down command, especially with a dominant dog. Down. No. Down. Slippery surfaces are your friend. So this concrete is really nice for this. If we were on carpet right now, that'd be all the more challenging to get her into position, but you can see how she just kind of slides into that down position for me. Heel. And it's what we call the grind. It's just the grind of training. Dominant dogs go through it, and guarded dogs go through it too. And even sometimes an outgoing dog will go through it, but primarily you've got your dominant and your guarded dogs that are really going to resist this whole concept of laying down for you. Down. No. Down. Once again, to the side, you can see her sliding into position, licking her mouth, with her mouth closed there a little bit, that's showing, starting to submit. She's starting to get into the idea that maybe it's not worth all the fuss, and maybe she'll just even lay down for me once, which would be great, wouldn't it? You will. Heel. Good. And you notice she pops right into the heel, no resistance there. She's like, oh, I'll follow you all day long. Let's, do that whole heel, almost. Let's do that heel thing, no problem, but no heel, caught you. There you go. Good. No sit. Good. Breaking my routine here with my outside foot. Just making her stay put, so we didn't do the D-O-W-N that time. And I'm spelling it for her sake. Good. Now let's tell her. Down. Down. Good. I said it a second time because I really saw her shift her weight, and I thought maybe if I put a little body language into it and said it a second time, I'd get the result that I did. I'd much rather praise her right now than go through that whole wrestling match again. But you saw it worked. This time she says, wow, you're not giving up on this, are you? I'm getting kind of tired of fighting you. Down does sound like a good idea. And she went ahead and got the job done for me. And then, of course, just got praised for it. So instead of me having to put any pressure, I was able to just reward her, verbally, and with my body language really softened up for her, which helps a lot too. So let's see if we can get a couple of those in a row, and I'll be happy. Heel. Good girl. No sit. Good. Down. Down. No. Down. There you go. Right back to a lot of resistance that time. You see she goes into a relaxed expression there pretty quickly once she's in it. So they go through the symbolic, wrestling match in their head. The down is a submissive gesture. It's a salute in the canine world, and she's resisting, having to salute. She thinks maybe we should salute her, and that's what dominant dogs do, and that's fine, but there's always a commanding officer above you. Heel. Even if it's just God, right? There's always somebody above you. No, heel. And dogs need to learn that. Plus, not only learning that is important, but the idea that you can hold a down command and fall asleep and wake up hours later still doing, that's cool too. No sit. Down. Down. No, down. And try not to touch her this time. There she goes. No, down. There we go. Good. That's a big step in the right direction. So here I'm just kind of stepping, and then I, adjusted and stepped a little higher on the leash so that I could help put some pressure down. So that way there wasn't even my hand touching. And so that's a good step in the right direction. We'll get there. Heel. Good. This time I'm going to break my routine again so that she doesn't get too much into this heel sit down too many times in sequence thing. I want this automatic sit. Good. There you go. But I don't want it to turn into automatic down. I want her to sit until I tell her to down. So if I heel sit down too many times in sequence, then that's exactly what I'll get. So here I'm breaking that routine up. Good girl. Good girl. Down. Good girl. And that was a really good one. No resistance, good focus. And I think I'm going to call that a good session. And thanks for watching. With dominant dogs, it can be challenging to get the job done initially. But I find that when a dominant dog is finally doing it your way, they're as stubborn about doing it your way as they used to be about doing it their way. So hope you enjoyed watching this session with Sugar. I'm sure the next time you see us do a video, it will look like she's been doing it all her life, and it'll be easy for her and easier for me. So that's how you work a dominant dog, through the down command. Happy training. Okay, good job, yes.